Hello and welcome to my stream today, where I am back in the new year now. Now I know that it's not Christmas anymore, but honestly I don't care. The song's just really good. Now today we are going to continue with the Slow Shock event, where there's still apparently a lot left, and honestly I don't know where. Um, we are probably about to see, but yeah. I genuinely don't know where this event is going to go, and I just hope that one of my favorite characters will not end up dying. Though they probably will. So let's just go right there and continue. As far as I am aware, we stopped right here. Agent Angelia. Neue Tempelhof, of Berlin. Oh, right, also before I forget, thank you very much for the 35 months at Tier 2, Ask. You fucking nerd. William's former residence. Angie stands silently at the communicator in her hands. Angie. Angie closes her eyes and spends a minute in silence. We stick to the plan and get out of here first. We'll settle the score with both Morador and Grey later. Hello, Emma Austin. Doing fairly well. I know what's coming. And you finally opens her eyes and declares slowly. If we lose our cool and both botch things up now, the commander's sacrifice will have truly been in vain. Understood. Angie rolls her joints and stretches her legs, and then she leads the Defy Dolls back to the entrance of the mansion. Is it? It's supposed to be anime style, yeah, but that's kind of all. Yeah. Thank you very much for the follow. Contact Q RPK 94. Time to plan our next move. Just as Angie puts her hand on the door handle. Angie! With a startled cry, AK-12 throws itself over Angie. A shell punches through the door that Grey has sliced open and smashes through several walls before blowing up in the depths of the mansion. The grey walls collapse one after another like dominoes. Angie scrambles out from under AK-12 and sees that the stars the engines now have the mansion completely surrounded. The young man in the lead is holding Q's M203 grenade launcher, so he must be the culprit of the scene of the devastation. Grenade launcher? Q, you'd better have an explanation for this. I can't reach her. And get me K. Ask him what the hell is going on. The young man standing in the front yard lowers the grenade launcher, then after a moment of deliberation, he raises his hand to gesture his men. At a signal, the Stasi agents around them all raise their weapons and start firing indiscriminately at the mansion. He keeps his hand up for well over 20 seconds and only closes his fist after his subordinates have each emptied 4 magazines, and the mansion is in complete shambles. Clear. Target not found in the hall. Copy. We have eyes. No sign of the target having escaped. With a nod, the young man hoists up his grenade launcher. Under subordinate's protection, he enters the building, striding over the shattered glass and splintered wood. Almost all obstacles have been smashed. Nothing in the hall has remained intact, and there's little to no space for a person to hide. The young man raises his weapon and aims it at the bookcase that is lying on the side next to the stairs. Taking the hint, the others have the bookcase surrounded and gradually close in on it. Once they reach a certain distance, the young man holds up a hand to stop his teammates from advancing any further. With his weapon still raised, he fishes out a grenade from its waist pouch with one hand, pulls the pin with his teeth and tosses it behind the bookcase. No movement behind the bookcase at all. The realization dawns on him before the grenade explodes. He immediately redirects his weapon up towards the ceiling. The explosion of the hand grenade... Oh. I'm very sorry, but for the moment I'm not interested, and even if I was, I'd be looking for it. Like, not to discourage you, but I would be looking for stuff on my own. Essentially looking for artists whose styles are like, and then for something that I can verify is very much up to my standards, and something that I just like, and also within my budget. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Anyway, the explosion of the hand grenade heralds the start of the skirmish. At the same moment, the young man pulls the trigger and fires a shell at Acre 12, who's hanging on the chandelier. I'm sorry, I'm gonna pass. I apologize. The shell sends the chandelier along with a white-haired doll crashing to the floor. The other agents probably spread out to avoid getting hit by falling debris. Meanwhile, Entry suddenly emerges from under the pile of rubble and dust and fires continuously at the agents. Don't panic. The young man barks out a command and briskly pulls back from Acre 12. Entry's bullets have managed to penetrate an agent's neck, then shatter another goggles, and break a third agent's ribs through his bulletproof vest. Then, all the well-trained agents take aim at Acre 12 and pull the trigger in unison. Even Acre 12 cannot withstand direct fire from so many weapons at the same time. 12! The situation is obviously beyond Angel's expectations, but she quickly decides on a course of action. The young man is surprised to see that Angie has opted against helping us well and is charging straight towards him instead. Keep firing, don't give a chance to strike back. Angie's alloy prosthetic leg delivers a mighty kick and sends the weapon flying out of his grip. The young man draws his combat knife and manages to land a cut on Angie's abdomen. A trickle of blood oozes from the wound, but Angie is not deterred. Wary of the strength of her prosthetics, the young man falls back rapidly. Angie! Acre 12, still under the focus fire some distance away, realizes that Angie is in danger. With gritted teeth, she thrusts her hand through the floor, tears out a piece of floorboard, and hurls it at one of the agents. This barbaric way of fighting really reminds me of someone. 15, you're up. Acre 15 comes crashing through the wall in a flurry of black and white and sends the agent away flying with a kick from behind. The agent, too focused on Acre 12 to notice 15, is flung straight out the window. The two distractions succeeded in disrupting the agent's assault. With the heat taken off of her, 12 throws her battered body at the remaining agent and snaps one of their necks without hesitation. The Stasi agents, which had the upper hand just a moment ago, are completely wiped out in 6 seconds flat. But in those 6 seconds... the wounded Angie is slumped on the floor while the young man who has bested her towers over her, pointing a pistol at her head. So this is how you take care of my needs in Berlin on behalf of K. Agent U. Apologies, introductions are indeed in order. As you can see, I'm a Stasi agent. Yeah, you may as well introduce yourself after I die. I've got K on the comms. You crossed the line. Haven't I been working with one of your fellow agents? Angie, you picked the wrong side. Q and whoever's behind her are collaborators of the White Faction. She is also involved in arms trafficking. I have no time for your infighting. We have orders from above to erase all information about Q. Any last words? Go fuck yourself. Duly noted. The call disconnects. I'm very sorry, Miss Angelia. There was a time when I wanted to become someone like you. But we ended up on opposing sides. So I'll see you in the brave new world. A bullet fired from elsewhere beats Acre 12 in stopping Agent U. Blood spurts from his temple, his eyes lose focus and he crumples limply to the floor. Who? You better explain yourself. Phew. See, I'm quite dependable after all, aren't I? Your grenade launcher is right there. That was a little accident. All Stasi agents have access to the safe houses after all. You didn't think your entire ammo store would be used against me, did you? I knew you'd make it for an excellent partner. Just a minute, you made a mistake. Fortunately, it worked out just fine in the end. Enough. I've wasted too much time already. Start tracking Grey immediately, as well as another high-spec Niter. Alright, alright. Transmission ends. She's not cute at all. I know, right? I'm with you on that. After dealing with the rest of the Stasi agents, Angie suddenly realizes the problem that she has been overlooking for a while. Where are RPK and A94? We haven't heard a peep from them the whole time. Feeling something isn't right, AK-12 dashes out the door. After a beat, Angie hears a furious cry. 94! Following the voice, she hurries after AK-12 and finds her, as well as A-94, who has crashed on the spot. AK-12 kneels down and takes out a connection cable from A-94's pouch. She plugs it into one end into her pod and the other in A-94's. AK-12's face is bleak, while Angie looks bewildered. How could anyone cause 94 to crash out of the blue? Where's RPK? There's no sign of her. The paralyzed A-94 suddenly spasms as a neurocloud reboots after a forced shutdown. RPK, it was RPK, she... 94 also has a look of utter disbelief on her face. RPK attacked me. Yeah, we already knew that RPK wasn't exactly working with us. That is nothing new, unfortunately. That's a spicy unit right there. Okay. So we have to destroy RPK, and if Angie withdraws, we lose. Unfortunately, I believe that these enemies are probably alerted to the whole map. Essentially, yes. Converse with A-94. I'm sorry, Angie, I got careless. It's not your fault. No one could have seen this coming. Not even me. I will make up for my blunder. Don't worry, we won't let her get away. The explosives were rigged in the area earlier are ready for us. Ready for use at any time. We will keep you up to date if necessary. I will give the order. We must stop at all costs. I'm fairly sure what we're supposed to do here is grab the explosives and use them against RPK to weaken her. I think. If this unit goes up, that will work. That will also work out. If it doesn't, we might be in trouble. If it goes left, that's bad. Of course. Though I could just detonate it right now. Within one tile, right? I believe that should weaken her, theoretically. Eliminate enemies. So we're gonna have to send Task Force FI in first, and then afterwards fight ourselves. Probably? Fucking RPK, go fuck yourself. Now this is a friend echelon, so it shouldn't affect our S rank, theoretically. Also, AK-12 is a fucking powerhouse. That's a lot of damage. Still dies, but still. Now that is significantly weakened. She still has 53,000 strength, but she's at a quarter health. So oh, I'm fucking stupid. I now know what I'm supposed to do, and that wasn't quite it. Now, that does make it relatively simple. Alright, talk to her, skip the dialogue because we've seen it. I don't want to detonate, I want to plan. To go over there. We will essentially ignore that 44,000 units that we have directly south of us. What we will do is reunite this squad with the rest of the Vi. Which will probably make us able to defeat her in a straight-up fight, but I don't know, we'll see. I genuinely don't know yet. And turn. This time you go up, dick bag. Okay. Detonate the Goliath. And return. RPK shouldn't move. The enemy moves one tile towards us, it's fine. Now RPK is able to move again. Truly a shame. Converse with them. This goddamn fox bitch. Calm down. No real harm has actually come to 94. I don't understand. What kind of malfunction in RPK's programming caused it to do this? Doesn't matter. I don't care why she did it. I will make her pay for this. No one knows her better than you. Don't underestimate her. Do everything you can to capture her. I need her alive. I've got to figure out what the hell she's up to. Understood? Well. Time to fight RPK. Well, 94 and 15 are dealing a lot of damage. Fuck you, RPK. Go to hell. Also, so far there has not been a single combat mission that uses our own echelons. So maybe that's only on EX? I genuinely don't know. Okay. I actually wonder, is that on EX? Let's see. No, that's still a friend echelon map, just a very much bigger one. God damn. Essentially the same mechanics, much more effort. Interesting though. Moonlit nights on the Dnieper. Hope, in the end, it's always the most hurtful thing. I see. Outskirts of Neue Tempelhof, Berlin. Q7-seater SUV is still parked on the same spots, but the agent itself is nowhere to be found. Ekatov returns to the car looking very grim. Sorry, Angie, she got away. Angie scowls as she comes to realization. She's been leading us in circles and wasting our time deliberately. Forget about her. Since we can't get in touch with Q either, we're on. I have good news and bad. Just spit it out. The bad news is, the track I planted on Grey's tail was discovered. Its last known position before it got destroyed is somewhere in Berlin. The good news is, Dandelion's latest location, which the commander sent us, happens to be in the same direction. The destination is pretty obvious. Where is it? The navigation system won't be much of a help. The contamination zone. It's quite close to Berlin. And this brings back some really bad memory. Give me the car keys, I'll drive. But you could make your injuries worse. X12 pants 94 in the back. Sit in the back with 15. I'll ride shotgun and keep an eye on her. Okay. And you just have the driver's seat and rearview mirror, which reflects a tired face. Are you sure about this? Should we at least... At least what? And she looks at AK-12. I know what you're thinking, but no supporters coming. If RPK is so intent on stopping me from getting there, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. AK-12 glances at 15 and 94. Even if I say this is a bad idea, you're still going, aren't you? And I can't let you go on your own. Outskirts of Berlin. And she grips the steering wheel silently, her impatience apparent in the rearview mirror. The scenery outside the car windows is dull and monotonous, while the atmosphere within the vehicle is somber. Everyone seems preoccupied with their own thoughts. Look at us, a proper suicide squad. Our leader is covered in injuries and running headfirst into a contamination zone to fight the boss. With no backup and a stolen car. I know what I'm doing. Of course you do. I'm sure you also know there's only so much we can do in the sorry state, yeah? And she sniffs. She's too busy fighting exhaustion to respond to AK-12's quip. Hold on, stop the car. We're on the Autobahn. There isn't a single car in sight, not to mention we've committed so many crimes breaking one more traffic rule isn't going to kill us. The same can't be said if you keep driving, your eyelids are drooping. And she slams on the brakes wordlessly. That's better. I'm just preserving my strength for what comes next. And she opens the door and gets out of the vehicle. She switches seats with AK-15 in the back. I was offering to drive, but this works too. Satisfied that the engine has started, Angel leans back and slowly closes her eyes. AK-15 looks in the rearview mirror and turns on the radio. I don't find this very soothing. Soothing music starts playing, according to them, and as night falls, the fog gradually rises outside the windows, creating a rare moment of tranquility. Strange. What's wrong? I think I've heard this song somewhere before. AK-12 concentrates and listens for a while. It's a common tune on the radio, nothing special. That's weird. Hello, Werther. What do you mean? It's very pretty. What is it this time? Don't you think we've been driving for too long? This motorway seems endless. I don't remember it being so long on our way here. We should have passed through the quarantine wall by now. Just then, the radio suddenly crackles ominously. You're always so stubborn, Angie. The Greens retain power... God damn it. The commander was only dispatched to Berlin because of your rash decision. So many have paid a heavy price for what you've done. Won't you at least reflect on your actions a little? RPK. You just never listen, Angie. You knew this would be a path of no return, yet you carried on regardless. You forced me to prove my allegiance to my true master. You're true. The vehicle is out of control. 94, keep Angie safe. The wheel pivots sharply, causing the vehicle to overturn without warning. Its momentum propels it straight off the road. Angie feels herself free-falling in an endless moment of weightlessness. The roof of the vehicle, the seats, the sweater starts to defy, everything seems to have disappeared, or perhaps engulfed by darkness. The state of weightlessness stretches on. To make matters worse, Angie's ear starts ringing painfully. There are better battlefields to give your life on, Angie. You mustn't fall here. 12? Angie, wake up. Wait, where am I? Sorry, Angie, we failed. If everything in life is futile, then what is the point in struggling? I can only show my loyalty through betrayal. I am you when I am I. I don't like RPK. No matter how many times you lose your memory, no matter how the people around you present themselves, you never change your mind. I expected nothing less from a student. You don't seem to know it well enough. It doesn't matter. Time is fair to each and every one of us, especially you. Now, I have the opportunity to understand it all. Marta Meitner, I dare not believe any of this. To think you actually went and sacrificed your own students. Haven't we reached the conclusion long ago? This immortality, resurrection, whatever you'd like to call it, it's nothing but pointless fantasy. This is murder, pure and simple. Butchery, an affront to human life in the name of your own ideals. This is a betrayal of those very ideals. If I hadn't known from the start that this was what you were trying to do, to achieve with Evangel Axis, I would have never agreed to using this technology in Sana. Martha, you deceived me. None of this was for Sana at all. You servant of evil. Blackwell, Berlin, 2051. This is gonna pick off where we sent them in last time, isn't it? We know that the AR team made it into the tower. We know that they're in there. But we don't know what's going on. Hey, Dark Caves. Man, how much I would like to put a bullet between RPK's eyes myself. But I can't do that. And you talk to me? Okay. In the Eastern Tower, Avernus. Operation Anus, Phase 0. Target Anna Viktorovna Natsoi. Anus Conference Room, current progress saved. Phase 0, 99% completed. The nauseating stench that permeates Avernus threatens to overwhelm Rose neuroclouds. The only thing that is keeping her sane is the fact that she still hasn't reached her objective, Angelia. At this very moment, she is threatening a Naito in the Black named Collida into taking her into the laboratory where Angie is being incarcerated. Collida, who exactly are you? I'm guessing that it's AK-12. As you can see, I'm Collida. The Naito is currently standing right in front of you. No, the eyes. It's AK-12. Maybe not the original body, but it is AK-12. If you wish to see her, I'll bring you to her. But once you do, you'll understand. She cannot leave this place with you. Half of Task Force Anus are lost. Raw is the last hope. How could she give up now that she's here? I will take her with me no matter what. Kalenda walks ahead in silence, her slender metallic legs tapping brightly on the floorboards. They're going down a hidden path. Not a single Paradeus member is in the sight along the way. Kalenda operates the access control. The electronic door opens, revealing a pure white glass room deep inside the laboratory. Angie's inside. Ro looks in the direction indicated by Kaleda and sees a woman lying in the center of the white room. Her chest rises and falls imperceptibly. Her breathing is incredibly faint. A myriad of wires and tubes are connected to her body, pumping all kinds of unknown fluids into her bloodstream and maintaining her weak vital signs. The passcode lock at the door flourishes red. The display screen on it reads Subject Angelia. Angie! Ro rushes up to the door and tries to open it. She attempts to crack the electronic lock, but the mechanism is utterly unresponsive. She bangs forcefully on the glass, shouting Angie's name loudly. Naturally, her efforts are futile. As I said, you cannot take her away. What has Paradise done to her? How do I open this goddamn door? It's no use. This room is specially prepared for white torture. The pure and white interior deprives them of any sensory input and destroys their spirits. The inner wall is impenetrable. Even if you somehow managed to break it in using violence, you wouldn't be able to save Angie. The passcode cannot be cracked. Brute forcing it will trigger a deadlock seal. The ventilation duct in this room is less than 5 centimeters wide and connects directly to the filter system in the eastern tower. Everything you can think of, I've tried. And what are you still waiting for? I don't know. Maybe for the moment when I've had flatlines. What then? Then I can begin my quest for vengeance. I will make them pay. I'm against it. I'm sure the commander won't approve either. The commander didn't send you here alone. Yet you're the only one who managed to get this far. As fellow team leader, I know what that means for the others. Turn back. Maybe you could still save one or two. Don't let us down. We have a deal with him. We must fight to our last breath. I believe you. I'll be waiting. No. I reached this point with everyone's will up on my shoulders. I will not give up just like that. Here's the strong arm that Miss Persica has tasked me with delivering to Angie. With it, we can lock onto her position. If Angie regains her consciousness, we may still have a chance of leaving this place. Such stubbornness. Such naivete. I will not give up until the very end. I once pondered over a question. What question? Back in 61, why did Angie choose us over you? If she stood on the edge of the abyss of hell, we would jump in with her, no question, while you would drag her away from the precipice, wouldn't you? Of course. The large and spacious laugh is engulfed in silence. In that case, let's give it a try. Prepare to synchronize the clocks. Avernus Hela. I know who Hela is. And I want to stab her. Bloodlust at 1000cc, vital sign stable. Procedure 20.01, main reticular formation connection completed. Now commencing procedure 02.12. Scalpel. First assistant, watch out for reverse traction. Endless, impenetrable darkness. Clatter. The gleaming muzzle of a gun appears abruptly in front of her. Then, bang. A bullet bursts out amid sparks, spiraling towards her at high speed, piercing through face after face in a memory, shattering the solid darkness. What is this place? In the water, a dark blur floats before her. The figure's hazy. Only the outline can be made out. Who are you? Her face and body reminds Angie of a certain woman. Grey? You're grey. You know me? How strange. I can't see your face clearly. I can't see yours either. Were we close? We're enemies. Let's see. Regardless, it makes me happy that someone recognizes me. Says my name. Where are we? The Lake of Cognition. Angie hesitates. This figure whose face she cannot see seems rather different from the Grey she knows. Are you the Grey from Galatea? I don't know. What does that mean? You're not human. Neither am I. We are merely stored memories. I'm a certain human frozen at a certain moment. You ask me if I'm her. I don't know. Because I don't know if the her that you speak of is me in the future. I don't know if I'm part of her either. My extracted memories only go up to 2051. You mean, I'm dead? Generally speaking, only memory fragments of the deceased who have undergone the Holy Grail surgery can reach the Lake of Cognition. Generally speaking, are you not dead? I am, the one who devised the surgery. So it's you. You're the one to blame for it all. Perhaps. You're not even denying it. Z2 isolated morphine to create an analgesic, but inadvertently opened Pandora's box. That's often the case with technology. Its application can be entirely different from the intended use. As so often. As was the case with fertilizer. It was never meant to be dynamite. It was meant to revolutionize food growth, stabilize population, and became a massive weapon. Then why did you devise the surgery in the first place? To save a little girl's life. What was her name? Sana. The water churns. A mighty force, almost like a hurricane, seems to be pounding on the bottom of the lake. Come to me. I think something is calling to me. Perhaps your consciousness hasn't been severed entirely. You're not dead yet in the biological sense. Then can I go back? I need to go back. You see that? Angie turns around. All she sees is the same boundless lake. Up there. That's... a rainbow that stretches onto infinity. A diamond bridge that seems to be flowing. A gigantic and dazzlingly beautiful rainbow, refracted by the sunlight. Beautiful, isn't it? This is a phenomenon of optical interference. A huge iceberg hangs over our heads. If you want to go back, you must get through that. Heyo! How are you doing? Naya, is it fine if I call you Naya? Thank you very much for the follow. Monitoring room. Eastern Tower operating level, Avernus. If you want to get Angie out of here, you must do exactly as I say. More than half a day ago, Angie underwent surgery. She has been unconscious since she got moved here. She was in critical condition and had to be resuscitated a few times, and those were the only times where staff were summoned into this room. They are probably monitoring her through all this equipment. If we take Angie away, the machines will sound the alarm and tip them off. That's just asking them for trouble. If we just pull all the wires and tubes out, we could cut her blood and oxygen supply and endanger her life. So we need to get around these machines. That's right. I'm sending you the floor plan of the building. We are currently on the operating level in Avernus, not far from the central surveillance room. According to my observation, this place is rather understaffed and not very well defended. Most of the people coming and going are medics and scientific researchers. No wonder we haven't run into any obstacles along the way. But even so, I suggest you to lay low and avoid making a commotion. If they move Angie somewhere else, all our previous efforts have been for nothing. I'll be sure to stay hidden. Go, I'll wait for you here. I'll not return empty-handed. Central control room monitor. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious it's AK-12. Central surveillance room, Eastern Tower operating level, Avernus. The electronic door opens and a Naito enters with a tablet on her arm. She sits down at the main terminal and starts working the controls. Subject number 6 is showing rejection symptoms, increasing CRP and IL-6, normal antibody titer. This is the central surveillance room. Dr. Harvey, please head to Ward 6 immediately and determine if a trauma team needs to be dispatched. Dr. Harvey, please head... With her focus entirely on the terminal, the Naito is completely oblivious to the shadow approaching from behind. Before she can even let out the grunts, a knife slits her throat. After dragging the corpse aside, Ro quickly operates the control following Kaleido's instructions. First, the monitor. The first step is to ensure the secrecy of the actions. She finds Angie's room on the tower, on the system, then ports another subject's monitoring data over. Now, no matter what they do with Angie, at least they won't attract any attention right away. Next. Ro's fingers typing rapidly on the keyboard suddenly freeze. On the system, she finds a directory of large numbers of experiments whose file names all begin with the word Hela. When she tries to open them, she gets nothing but an error message. All files pertaining to Hela have been deleted. Unable to recover, they did a pretty thorough job. But among the files is an eye-catching name. The file that contains the name of her rescue target is intact. Ro opens it with trembling hands. Hela Project subject number 10373, Angelia. Vital signs under observation. The subject's vital signs are extremely unstable post-surgery. Abnormal symptoms include high fever, accelerated heart rate, and shortness of breath, indicating signs of rejection. Laboratory tests. The subject was closely monitored after the surgery. Test results showed an abnormal increase in white blood cell amount and CRP levels. Liver function test also yielded abnormal readings. Special examination. The subject underwent special rejection examination, including nerve tissue biopsy, which showed acute rejection lesions. A line of handwritten text is found at the bottom of the file. Understood. Same-day surgery scheduled. Signed, Laplace. Hela's been appearing at high frequencies. Okay. Operating table. Operating theatre, Avernus. All kinds of scary-looking surgical tools are still left, strewn about an operating table covered in gore. It appears that they have not had time to clean and disinfect everything. Vascular forceps, bone wronger, brain suction tube, cerebral retractor, and hand-cranked cranial drill. Cold and gleaming surgical instruments are lined up in front of her eyes, conjuring images of Angie's scalp being flayed and her brain being cut open. Stop. Don't let your imagination run wild. Ro shakes the unsettling thoughts and tries to match what... Hey, classic! Hope you're having a nice chill day. And tries to match what she sees in the operating theatre with the information she has found about the HeLa project. Phenytoin is the green catheter. Droperidol is the red catheter. Rome mutters the names of the two drugs that Coletta just gave us as she searches for the red tubes. I need to stop the administration of these drugs to get it to wake up. Kinda don't want... I'm sorry, Classic. I don't know either. The off switch. Careful, careful. If I turn the painkiller by mistake, it will cause a great pain. Phenytoin and droperidol. Ro finds correct administration channels. She flips the switch off with trembling hands. She's not as calm as she pretends to be. When she returns to the white glass room, Ro finds Coletta standing in front of the glass. She cannot glean any emotion from the nighter's back. Anything? Now I'm starting to see just a tiny glimmer of hope. Andy's fingers and eyelids are twitching. Her vital sense has stabilized slightly. She's starting to stir. We may actually be able to get out of here. Don't celebrate just yet, Ro. Our real work is just beginning. You'll need to hack the database in Avernus. I need access clearance to the doors. Including this one. Ro asks, pointing to the white room. Especially this one. Almost done with your guilty pleasure as well. What is your guilty pleasure? What game are you playing? Actually, I could check. Actually, no, I can't. It doesn't show anything on Discord and on Steam. I don't think it would either. It cannot be... Ah. I mean, that's fine. A beer every once in a while doesn't hurt, right? Special event doll transfer letter. That almost makes me want to go through it at nightmare difficulty, but at the same time, that is quite difficult. So let's see what this is at. Oh god. Fun fact, yes. I was getting as much Dark Caves. And I probably will go back and do that, but it would take up a lot of time on the stream. If what a random comment on the wiki is to be believed regarding our backgrounds... Yes? What are you talking about now? I wonder. His name means Christmas Carol. It's when you actually joined a puzzle, so yeah. Yeah, I mean, so far I've liked the puzzle maps in this event. I mean, even this seems to be... maybe you can brute force this one. Because of the echelon there. Let's see. The heart rate. Select and Julia, yes. In this stage, you can change the connection by adjusting the numbers on each Pascal panel. A unit's heart rate decreases by 10 BPM every time they use a Pascal panel. Each echelon can transport themselves on the to the radar node, which reduces the heart rate by 20 BPM. Yeah. It's a mechanic. Don't worry about it too much. Hang on a minute, what was the top limit? 250. We're good. Actually, I might have made a mistake. Those are some very big units. Angie the absolute Chad. Okay. No, you don't. What does happen is that if you reach 250, the unit I get paralyzed for 1 round, combat power drops by 50%, and the heart rate will drop down to 150 again. So yeah, you don't want to get too low. Ah, okay. Now I understand. I get it now. Okay. Alright. I understand now what it does. Though I should probably actually check what my mission is. Establish a supply line. Where's the supply line node? All the way back there. That's quite the spicy unit up there. I think I've chosen the wrong path here. So our main goal up there is to take that node. Every time that I change the passcode, it changes the paths around the node, so I actually have different entryways. Man, this event has been super cool so far. There's been literally 0 maps where I've been able to use my own units, but still. It's still really cool. Operate this panel. This should work. Though we are cutting it close. So far, it is a really, really cool idea. Very good. That unit up there is bothering me. Maybe add the X-maps to allow them so you can feel around for endless grind. I do also agree with that one, actually. I would like to be able to use my units on EX maps. Just haven't had one yet. That actually allows me to do that. Now, Ro should make short work of these enemies. The problem is, every time that we defeat an enemy unit, the heart rate rises by 20. So, we don't want to be fighting too much. However, we do need to fight a good amount in order to actually create a supply line. For example, that 27,000 unit needs to go. The good thing is that the event actually does give me a way to reduce the heart rate. That is a sentence. Maybe we need to have a strategic heart attack. Yes. I could actually be an idea, by the way. By the way, do you also know the funniest thing about the heart rate mechanic? I don't know if you were paying attention to the panel a moment ago when I showed it to you. You have the normal area of 60 to 120, where you have no special effects. Elevated increases the attack power and the mobility. Depressed is lower than normal, 30 to 60, where energy's power decreases. You have tachycardia, which I already explained, so that 250 plus, you get paralyzed, lose 50% damage and fire rate, but the most important thing is bradycardia, negative 30 heart rate. Actually, no, 30. Oh, no, actually, I'm stupid. I now understand. It's 30 or less. Essentially, you just take damage and get set to. Yeah. That's stupid. Ding, 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 ding. Now, what I figured out so far is that apparently, just also reduce my heart rate again, because there is no limit to doing this. Negative beat rate, let's go. I see now why this I need to keep this unit in place before it reaches through. Okay, now I am actually firing at the backline, that's good. That's blood loss grenades. I don't think dolls can lead in the traditional sense, but, you know, sure. Blood gets pumped the other way. Are we going to have a railgun moment? Angie's a doll? Angie's not a doll. This is not Angie. This is Row 635. This on here, this is Angie. And she's the best fucking character. Did she nuke herself again? She is currently essentially dead. Oh, stop! Restart. That thing died right at the last second there. So let's just let Angie fight us out. Essentially, define essentially. Essentially means it's really hard to explain. She's been abducted by Avernus, which is Paradeus. She has been operated on by them, been tortured in a white room, is being pumped full of chemicals to essentially, what I'm guessing right now, kill the body so she can be modified into a quote-unquote Niter. Because, you know, Niters are machines made from humans. While her memories are being uploaded into a system. Her memories are currently being uploaded, but she's still aware that her body is barely alive. Essentially, she's trying to willpower her way back out of the system. Okay, let's fight this one over here as well. Yep, yep. It's not really a doll either. Paradeus units are very weird. They are under the complete control of a central system. Come on, jump at me. I know you want to. Oh, well, you did already. Okay. And the entire event so far has been running through her memories. All the way from childhood until now. And my god, this woman's a badass! Even as a child, she's been through so much, it's completely ridiculous. Did she steal a nuke when she was 5? Okay. We don't know where she was when she was 5, but when she was 12-ish, I think. Like, actually maybe 16, I don't know. Like, high school age. I don't know the exact age right now because I'm stupid. She was witness of a terrorist attack that, okay, that was in the middle of World War III. I think she was 15 or 16. Where Russia was at war with America. She is a Russian. And they got... Like, one of their teachers was sent to the front lines, or went to the front lines after his brother died, died a week later and was replaced by an American exchange teacher. Shenanigans ensued, and like a while later there was a terrorist attack that was aiming at killing every American-born person and everyone with American heritage. And it turns out that she's just casually carrying around the gun of her father. The chemistry teacher that she had was an absolute badass as well. That has turned out to be quite the bitch. Because she's still around. That's Hela, by the way. Or Plus's demon. It's quite convoluted at this point. So I think it's safe for me to start working on the supply line with Danger here. If the enemy keeps spawning the 27,000 enemies, that would be annoying. But if they don't, I can actually turn this map into a no-enemy map, which would be fun. I don't think I can spawn any units, can I? Nope, cannot. Get her out of the way, stand on this tile. This is a one-way tile. Can't do anything with it. I'm gonna leave Ro right there to lure the enemy in. I am fine for this turn. I can just leave this the way it is. Okay, no, they're constantly spawning the 27,000. Oh, they're also ignoring that up there. That is not good. so I do actually have to go over here. And intercept. Any better games for you? Eh? I like Ghost Frontline. I know that you don't like it. I don't really care, though. Because if you want me win, yes. I do want you to know that I am getting close to. I'm getting closer to being done with my Ghost Frontline run through. I want to move Angelia over here already. Where are they going? I don't like that you're going somewhere else. You are alerted, but you're just moving around randomly. What the hell is this bullshit? There's current. Yes, this is current event. I didn't catch up yet. No. I am getting close to catching up though. No, that's the wrong one to operate. And where's the third one? Oh, that's the teleport. I need to capture that node up there. But I am, in fact, at... Like, during my normal run-through, I am quite close to catching up. Or relatively close. So what I want to do now is interrupt this one right here. Let me restart. I don't know why the first time those grenades didn't deal any damage, but now they do. That's annoying. But now they didn't either. Those grenades do. I walked right back in. Like the smartest that I am. Okay, very good. I'm gonna leave it the way it is right now, for a simple reason. I believe that the unit above me will try to make it to Angie. Actually, no, I can't do that. Operate this one. Actually, teleport, motherfucker. If we go over here, that should let you surround capture this one, so we don't have to stay there. So, the way that these seem to work is that they are not alerted in general. They are alerted to Angie specifically. Which would actually be quite helpful. Also, they did not let me surround capture this. That's a shame. The enemy is forced to move left. Oh, supply line established. Very good. I win. You fail. I didn't notice that line there, because I'm stupid. Do I win? I do win. Very good. Did it take way too long? No, it didn't either. That's nice. Very nice. That was a very big puzzle map. Holy shit. Left turn, right turn. In the depths of the Lake of Cognition, Avernus, a brilliant light shines upon the water, rippling with a beauty that is both timeless and eternal. If it weren't for the flickering dark shadow, Angie would have thought she was dreaming. Dreaming about being on a boat sailing in heaven, the last place she should be going to. What is this spectacle? Have you heard of Nirvana? Angie shakes her head. Not my field of expertise. It is one of the Relic Agency's research areas. Back then, Martha, a senior from my school, stayed and worked at the Applied Physics Lab after she graduated. Her work was so exceptional she got recruited by the Relics Agency. This happened to be her main project. Creating a replica of Nirvana, the human connectome project known as the Holy Grail. Creating the Nidus consciousness, the virtual cognition image, and the Lake of Cognition to simulate logic, emotions, and instincts. This is the deepest part of all Nidus consciousness, the Lake of Cognition. What is that iceberg up there? Martha encountered a lot of setbacks in her research. There was a time when one could not move freely among the three layers. Oh, wait. Could or could not? Could move freely among the three layers until Sana's brain death. I wanted to save her. If you hadn't known Martha back in those days, you would know just how brilliant, how dazzling she was. When such a person begged you for help, there's no way you could refuse. Actually, she did know her. Remember that physics teacher that I mentioned? Yeah, it turns out she's working for fucking Paradeus now and is just the cause of this entire fucking bullshittery. I designed a device, the Evangel Axis. A device to anchor her consciousness. I extracted Sana's memories. Then using the Evangel Axis, I separated her memories from the virtual cognition image. I deposited the memories here as a simulation of a human's consciousness. In the beginning, the conduit effect of the Evangel Axis manifested as just a thin layer of ice. Sana, never forget. Yeah. But then, as more and more consciousnesses got placed here, the ice also grew thicker. And now, it's become an entire iceberg. Why are you here? Call it the experimenter's weird quirk. Just as how some construction workers would carve their name on roof tiles, Grey left a duplicate of her own memories here. That's me. I possess all the memories up until 2051. If a human consciousness is anchored here, given control over the different physical bodies, isn't that a form of immortality? I once believed so, but sadly this is no immortality. It certainly looks like it. Let's say a person has their memories duplicated at the age of 10, 20, and 30, creating copies A, B, and C. Which copy do you think is the real her? The last copy. No one knows which is the so-called last copy. If the 20-year-old and the 40-year-old versions of her take control of two different physical bodies and start making different choices individually, which of them do you think is her? Humans are unique and capable of genuine creativity. The puppets powered by the Evangel Axis aren't. To put it in simple terms, the so-called personalities formed here are only a hodgepodge of selected and shuffled traits. They are not genuine creations. The Evangel Axis can generate an infinite number of English words using the existing alphabet, but cannot create the 27th letter. Humans cannot create an imitation of the true creator. What happened then? The surgical procedure failed. I did anchor Sana's consciousness here so that she could attempt to control her physical body via the Evangel Axis, but it didn't work. The generated personality was incomplete. I kept synthesizing and recombining, shuffling and rearranging, but in the end, I realized that I had failed hopelessly. The thing that I created was not Sana at all. I explained this to Martha as I despaired, and that was the last thing I remember. That's why you said you're a moment. That moment. Yes. It only takes a moment to be transported here, while a human is defined by infinite moments. So how could such a thing be human at all? Paradeus has been harvesting humans for experimentation in order to achieve immortality. It could be a side effect. What do you mean? This is purely conjecture, but I think it's a side effect of this design. Human science and experiments are... Thank you very much for the follow. I'm sorry, I need to reread the name. The Punani Pundit. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the name while I was jumping on my screen. Thank you very much for the follow, though. I appreciate it. Human science and experiments are essentially about imitating nature and searching for some kind of logical truth behind it. For example, plants need sunlight to grow. Nature is the sun that provides sunlight. Scientists create grow lights through imitation and innovation. We make plants grow with these grow lights. However, grow lights consume electricity. This energy consumption is a side effect of creating an imitation. In other words, the side effect of simulating nirvana via the Holy Grail is that it must consume bioenergy. How could you design something so abominable? As I said, Saturnus first experimented on isolating morphine to create an analgesic. No one could foresee the opening of Pandora's box. I tried to decipher the code of immortality, but ended up creating this abomination. Back then, I sourced the required bioenergy from animals. Sana could nod and shake her head, nothing else. But now, judging by the thickness of the ice, I gather the experiment was eventually a success, but it consumed a tremendous amount of energy. Tremendous enough to create a spectacle. It worked indeed. It created the so-called Nitos. Why are you telling me this? To explain why this isn't immortality. I don't know the thought of the me who remains human. I think the miracle named Nito is a deadly temptation for all scientists. In fact, I must admit that hearing about its success still fills me with a vague sense of triumph. However, my reason and morals tell me that this technology should never have been taken this far. It's unethical and utterly against my initial design. So you're confessing out of guilt. I've witnessed too many real deaths here. The Evangel Axis is not a closed-loop system. It requires external energy input. So after a while, you will be deconstructed and consumed by the Evangel Axis as it continues to run. You may be chosen as material for synthesizing a new consciousness. Or you may be transformed into energy to be fed to the Evangel Axis. I don't know who you are, but you're the first person to recognize me. What is your full name? Gray Blackwell. I knew it. You're Martha Meitner's junior alumnus, the author of the letters in my head. Letters? Dear Blackwell, it's been a long time since our last correspondence. For whatever reason, even this technologically advanced age, I still prefer maintaining our relationship using more traditional means. You probably don't want to hear any more about this, but I've got to share with you how I feel right now. Perhaps I was too weak and cowardly. It was already technologically feasible back then, but I was simply too scared. I considered waiting until all the preparations were complete, but the situation doesn't allow it. It's time I gave up on some things. Giving up does not lead to losses. On the contrary, we gain more by giving up. This is my latest epiphany. When all human morality, our very sense of good and evil is utterly lost, I do not sense any hope in saving humanity. Dear Martha, this is a betrayal of our ideals. We are no longer fellow travelers sharing the same adventure. I'm sorry. Eastern Tower operating level, Avernus. With Rose's help, Coletta successfully hacks the database and obtains the security clearance to open the lock. Error. Unfortunately, the door to the white glass room remains firmly shut. I knew it. That can only be fully disengaged by also inputting the passcode from the inside. That's the worst case scenario. Then we have no choice but to wait for her to regain consciousness. There's nothing else to be done. Sopo would just break the glass. You can't. Although Sopo is... I don't know. There's currently two choices. Either A. Sopo is in a protracted battle against Paradeus, or B. Sopo isn't. Just as M4 might not be. UMP-45 might not be. 9 might not be. 416 might not be. Yeah. Was the figure who fought alongside us in level 2 really Angie? It was her. Yes, okay, I will drink something. That explains the thing you read on Wiki. I mean, okay. The thing that you read on Wiki about Coletta is that she's AK-12. Look at her eyes. This is AK-12. It's essentially just... Like, I know it. From the bottom of my heart, I know that this is AK-12. Don't know AK-12's eyes. She always has them closed. Well, most of the time. It was her. But I'm not entirely sure how a human could manage it. It was because of Hela. Rhoda has not, and has not no desire to imagine what Angie has gone through. A communicator suddenly makes a sound, breaking the dull silence. Operation Aina's conference room reactivated. Task Force Aina's registration completed. Unicorn? Task Force... Are those AN-94 and 15? Current progress. Phase 1, 100% completed. Phase 2, 50% completed. Phase 3, 0% completed. Phase 4, 100% completed. Phase 5, 0% completed. Phase 0, 99%, 100% completed. Rose, so shocked she only managed to answer in acknowledgement after a few good seconds. 45. Well, about the thing that I just said. Ro, it's me. Ro feels like crying. She has a ton of questions to ask 45, but once she opens her mouth, everything she wants to say is lodged in her throat. What's the situation on your end? I'm okay for the moment. I can keep the inner conference room up and running. Can you get in touch with the others? No one else is online. I see. I'll keep trying to get through to them. What about you? Have you found Angie? I have, but we can't get out yet. Like, we're working on it. Figures. When have our missions ever been easy? But we're counting on you. I won't let you down. I'll support you remotely. Right. I'll send you the info about the lab in a bit. No problem. You just noticed? What? Ro, I have a request. What request? Never mind. Even if I don't say anything, you'll do your best to sort this out. On a bag, yes. That is in fact... that is in fact a supple keychain. I will. Good luck, Ro. The Anna's conference room falls silent again, but Ro now finds calm in the silence. By the way, just letting you know who this force was made up of. There was Task Force 404, which did not actually include G11, because I don't actually know what happened to 11. She just wasn't in this event, and I didn't play one of the previous events, actually two. So I'm missing a little bit of stuff in the middle. I know that apparently something happened to her neural cloud, I don't know what. So we had 416, UMP9, and UMP45. We had XM8s, we had the ART, the full ART, apart from M16. We had Gauger and the dumbass from SF. We had a 3-person task force from Griffin. And we had AK-12, AK-15 and A-94. So, we currently have contact to 45, and that's it. Lake of Cognition, Avernus. After listening to the letters, Grey Blackwell lapses into a long silence. If it weren't for the constantly flowing water all around her, Angie would have thought that the world had frozen. It appears that Mother did not terminate the project. She simply renamed it from Holy Grail to Hela. Yeah. I have a question. Yes? Am I still leading the project? Not exactly. You're a night owl in the physical world. Andrew thinks for a second with eyes closed. No. You died long ago. Your students organized a grand funeral for you. That's nice. I'm glad I resisted the temptation. I stayed true to myself. I did not break the Hippocratic Oath. She muttered softly to herself, and you can't see her face, but you can sense her emotions faintly. What's my epitaph? We're not exactly friends, so I didn't pay much attention. But I know it's something pretty long. I suppose my students decided on it. It's probably my favorite motto. The Hippocratic Oath? No, I'm guessing it's this. Death is the one thing we cannot escape. Life is the one thing we cannot defile. Thank you for telling me everything. In return, I have a gift for you. Hmm? Didn't you say you must go back? I can briefly negate the effect of the Evangel Access for you. Then why didn't you do that earlier? It can only be done once. Imagine how ice flows... That's not a word. Imagine how ice floes floating to the surface, on the surface of the ocean blown apart by the wind would soon drift back together. I can only give you a moment as brief as the wind. Also, if you can't find your way back into your body, you may get sucked back here again. If that happens, you'll be stuck here for good. Are you ready? Ready. Take my hand. Don't let go. Float indeed in the real world? I didn't know that. What does it mean? Genuinely, I've never seen the word. What the fuck? Anyway. L6, pass box. Excuse me? Why am I getting the true core mask here? There are still 42 maps left. Why am I getting the true core mask here? That's usually the end reward at the very end of an event. This doesn't make sense. Eastern Tower Medical Monitoring Room, Avernus. Still giddy from all the joy of learning about UMP-45's survival, a piercing alarm ports roll back to reality. What's going on? Are they on to us? No, this is a warning for high radiation levels. High radiation levels? This is the problem. Angie's about to wake up. If the radiation levels suddenly increase, it could endanger her life. I'll investigate the source of the radiation while you keep an eye on Angie. Let's split up for now. Coletta leaves the room immediately. Angie. Her approaches the wide room. Angie's breathing is still steady. Her vital signs are fluctuating slightly, but the increasing radiation levels don't seem to have had a large effect on her. She seems fine at the moment, but you can't be sure about later. I'm not seeing any leaks here. The indoor readings haven't seen any significant increase. Go and check the purification system. Probably have no place in the plan. What? What? Purification system control zone. Well, have you found it? Rose stares at the machinery running smoothly in front of her. I found the purification system on the floor, but it's working perfectly fine and it's got plenty of power. Huh? Send me the operation logs. Done. What is it? Is something wrong with it at all? The purification system in this lab is dependent on the central control room. The power supply has been cut off over there. So as a result, the purification system on the entire lab has also stopped running. That's right. Also, the system cannot be activated from here. It can only be done from the central control room. There's only one explanation for turning off the purification system. The people here no longer need it. In that case, there's only one thing to do. We must get Angie out of here before the radiation levels go through the roof. Rose sprints down the corridor. She is so anxious she doesn't even notice that the place is now completely deserted. Ro, get back here. Angie's awake. I don't know. Lake of Cognition, Avernus. The beautiful rainbow slowly splits open. Gradually, it converges into a single color, the color of the sun. A radiant gold. The color of hope. At long last, I see sunshine again. So we got out. Gray shoves the paper back into Angie's hands. It contains a vinyl record. Take this. Head toward the sun. When you reach the door on the surface of the lake, that's the key. Written on in bright red mark on the paper bag is 9367. Having handed the key over to Angie, Gray lets go of her and starts thinking like a drowning person. Angie can't help but grab her hands. What are you doing? Have a good luck. I'm a string of data stored as a test. The moment I set foot in this passage, I'll be discovered and rectified. Like, talking to you has brought me great joy. Thank you, Angie. You said you must go back, didn't you? So go. Go and do what you must. Even if I'm just a snapshot of Grey Blackwell, please let me. Please let me die a dignified death as a human, just as she did. Angie slowly rises to the surface of the lake. Those letters are like the countless bubbles in the water, trickling through Angie's mind. Meitner, Beslan, evening of the 9th, 2047. Blackwell, Berlin, early morning of the 9th, 2051. Meitner, Moscow, noon of the 3rd, 2051. Blackwell, Berlin, evening of the 3rd, 2051. Meitner, Beslan, midnight of the 6th, 2050. Blackwell, Berlin, earlier morning of the 6th, 2058. Meitner, Berlin, morning of the 7th, 2058. Blackwell, Berlin, afternoon of the 7th, 2051. If you hadn't known Martha back in those days, you would know just how brilliant, just how dazzling she was. Well, she did know her. Yes, I did know her. Grey, I knew her. Which is why I must kill her. I've got to kill her. I need to kill this monster who killed Martha. She is no longer Martha Meitner, but Laplace's demon. I'm stupid. Glad I did remember. What's the code anyway? It was the dates of the letters. It's nothing special to us, but to Meitner and Grey. White Room, Eastern Town Medical Monitoring Room, Avernus. Angie's now awake. The door to the White Room opens. Rose sprints back into the White Room. By the time she reaches it, Coletta's already helping Angie sit up on the bed. Angie is ashen-faced and covered in injuries, but when she sees Rose, she squeezes out a feeble smile. I have a message for the Commander. We can't contact the outside world. Oh, but you can use this. This is a strong arm. It's still under research and development. Miss Persica asked me to give it to you. Rose takes up the strong arm that Persica has entrusted to her and puts it carefully around Angie's right wrist. Strong arm match successful. Synchronizing subject data. Respiration rates 18 breaths per minute. Body temperature 38.4 C. Blood pressure, blood oxygen, yeah, okay. Heart rate 200 BPM. Ooh. Spicy. 45, do you copy? I'm about to connect Angie to the Innes conference room. Angie, copy that. Angie's voice weak but firm. Long time no see, Commander. Time is short, so I'll get to the point. I'm really sorry, but I can't leave this place just yet. Listen, Commander. Here's my plan. Operation Muramet. I can't read that. I can't read that. Inscription from Night at the Crossroads. I can't read that. That's all I have to say. We'll get you out immediately. No, I have an urgent mission for you right now. But the radiation levels are rising on the floor. We have a more important task. We must buy time for the commander. Understood. Angie, you surprised me. I never thought you'd go so far. I can say the same about you, RPK. Have you heard of the Ship of Theseus paradox? Who are you? A long time ago, a human raised a question. If each individual plank on the Ship of Theseus was replaced, one at a time, until none of the original planks remained, was it still the same ship? I think I know what's going on here. Could this be a modified personification of Sana? By the same token, if each individual part of a doll is replaced, one at a time, or if she simply switches to a new doll frame, would she still be the same doll? Hey, Fox! How are you doing? Let me give you a quick shout out. Welcome to... Damn, you're way faster than I am. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. And Happy New Year! What are you playing? Girls Frontline. We are currently in a very... philosophical cutscene. It's a spicy bit of an event where... It's very difficult to explain everything. What is this? It's Girls Frontline. It's a mobile gacha game that is a tactical slash strategic battle game. It's also very, very nice. It's another fox. It's a wolf, excuse me. What theme is it, though? Guns. Your doll? Yes. He's Mr. Wolf. Yes. Doll is the name for... Okay, the way that this works. Girls Frontline is a game where it plays past World War III. There was machines made to imitate human beings to replace them in warfare. After the World War III was over, they've been pushed into civilian use. Excuse me. Don't worry about it, I'm just call them androids. It's essentially androids. But the thing is that it's really cool. No, I'm not a cat. I'd fucking die. They're not androids. That's not entirely true. What happened is that they were pushed into civilian service, like civilian models, to replace menial tasks. Are you able to quote Death from the Puss in Boots? No, I'm not. I have not seen that movie. And even if I did, I'd haven't seen it in German. So, no, I can't. I'm very sorry. I guess. But, again, the dolls were made to imitate human beings and replace them in menial tasks, like elderly care, physical labor, salespeople, stuff like that. You should watch that movie. I might, eventually. German quotes now. From what? Like... Yeah. I don't watch a lot of movies, I realize. And you've put me on the spot. Very difficult. No might, only do. Can send you something German to quote. I mean, you could. But, yeah, to continue to explain what the dolls are, and why they're carrying guns, and why this is called Girls Frontline, and why they are all named after the guns that they're carrying. Private military companies have started buying up these civilian dolls that were put out of use. The ones that were old models and stuff, and gave them a different software, a few extra parts, so that they could be accurately carrying weaponry. So we are in the private military company called Griffin and Kruger. And this story has been escalating for years. Now we're in the headquarters of the enemy. One of our commanders is there, and barely alive. But the question here stands. No. I love this image. I also love the English translation of it, because people were so confused about what the hell is going on there. To tell you what what Bakasura just sent me ist muss kurz den scheiß Vogel gießen, warte kurz. Gedeih, dummes Federvieh. Fucking love the image. RPK. Let's take this puzzle a bit further. If I take over your face, your body, your thoughts, who's to say that I'm not you? Once again, Angie finds herself back where it all started. However, this time, she isn't alone in the classroom. Angie, long time no see. Angie gazes at the familiar face before her and fights the urge to punch the smirk off that face. Long time no see. You've been here all along. Oh, if you mean in your memories, then yes, I'm everywhere. My memories have been implanted with a lot of things that never happened. You actually noticed. I thought you preferred this version. At best in high school number 1, you were Ksenia. You're reading Strugatsky. Abigail rests her chin on her hand, and one hand flashes Angie an innocent smile. On the battlefield, you were Alexander. You heard all that? At Griffin Base, you were LAMG. Ooh, that explains why she never existed. Come on, Julia, are we not heading out on a mission today? Then in Bremen, you were you. Heh, you saw right through me. Why did you do this? I just wanted to get closer to you. Closer still. So that I could see you more clearly. Also, I was curious. If you could do it all over again, would you choose differently? If everything in life is futile, then what is the point in struggling? Unfortunately, Angie, you're as stubborn as a mule. Even if you went through the whole ordeal 1,000 times, you'd still make the same choices. If you've been here all along, are my memories even genuine? What do you think? If you believe them to be genuine, then they are genuine. Even if my memories have been tampered with, my decision and the task I must complete will not change in the slightest. I know. Of course I know. I've borne witness to everything you've been through, both real and fabricated. Angie, you're exhausted. Your body and mind don't have the strength to take you where you want to go. I can carry on. You have been trudging through the snowy wilderness far too long. So long that you don't even remember collapsing onto the snow, completely worn out. I have come to you. I will consume your flesh, don your skin, and finally, become you. I will seize your memories, your thoughts, your everything. Can you really get me there? At first, I may struggle to adapt to the human body, the sensation of pain, the fear of death. But I will remember your will. I will continue to move forward with this heavy body. I will keep heading towards where you want to go. That's not what's going on here. RPK caresses Angie's cheek. I will reach the destination wearing your face, your voice, your identity. Or should I say, I will make sure Angelia reaches the destination. Angie, you're too tired to carry on. Leave the rest to me. Angie's eyelids slowly begin to droop, but she still grips RPK's hand tightly with her remaining strength. I understand, Ninji. You don't have to say a word. Ninji's hand loosens around RPK's and falls away. I will be reborn in your body. I will become you, and I will inherit your will and bear your cross. I knew this was coming. And I'm still mad as fuck. Angie opens her eyes. She is standing before a mirror. The curtain has been pulled back. She gazes at her own reflection in the mirror. No, that's not what happened. She manipulates the muscles around her mouth and forms a smile. Hello, Angie. From now on, I am you and you are me. We are one. Essentially, there was a doll that was part of Angelia's squadron. Angelia being a commander of the Defy squadron, made up of AK-12, AK-15, AN-94, and RPK-16. RPK-16 had a little bit of a peculiar personality trait. She wanted to get closer to a commander. A lot closer. Her thought was that she could only get closer by betrayal. So she betrayed her, leading us down the path that we're currently on. In order to load her own memories, her own personality, into the brain of Angelia, becoming her in the process. She has killed her own comrades in order to take over the body of her commander. And honestly, I'm really fucking mad about it. Chapter 3. Ayo. Dude, Miller? Didn't you literally blow yourself up with a fucking napalm bomb? Yes, that was chapter 2. Well, to be fair, Fox, give me a second. If you want to know how much story there is to this, give me one moment. That was chapter 2 of the event. There's 13 chapters, and then there's a lot of events. There's a lot going on in this game. As I said, this person, right here, Leon Miller, has literally bombed herself in order to save her friends, calling in a tactical airstrike directly on her own location. The animal races through the toxic red zone. The closer it gets to the Dead Sea, the more oppressive the sky outside appears. It's going to rain. Right on cue, the first raindrop lands on the window. The droplet is drawn out into a streak by the speed of the animal's motion before it vanishes outside of a field of vision. No, not really! More and more raindrops land on the window and follow similar paths, forming a dense web on the glass. A18 looks down at the tactical tablet that she's holding. The backup bodies and dummy reserves all in position. So are the vehicles, night vision optics, supplies, and emergency body repair kits. Now all that's left is... A18's eyes narrow as she focuses on the last item on the checklist. She reaches out and contacts the air traffic control squad responsible for the final item. Good evening, Miss I-18. This is QBU-191 here. Please let the commander know that the air traffic control and the aerial support echelons are in position. The animal's ready. We are proceeding to the target location. Roger that. We're beginning the activation process. We finished deploying and are now standing by at the designated locations. We'll start once we pick up the signal. A18 puts down a communicator and finishes checking off all the items on the preparation checklist. She raps on the door. The Commander opens the door, eyes still bleary with sleep, and heads over to Ops' room. Are you feeling better now? I'll be fine. Are the preparations complete? All items have been verified. Let's have Irma begin immediately then. Inside the Muramet's conference room. Commence operation. This is Mercury, acknowledged. The only ones in this vast virtual domain, which is not officially open yet, are a few dolls responsible for providing signal support. Irma gathers them together. Everyone, we've received the order to officially begin the operation. TPS, what's the latest data transmission speed and stability? Speed is maxed out, while lag dropped and packets are 0. Jetty, have you done a comms check between each of the operational squads? Yep, checked and tested. Alright, Maggie. We'll be starting at the Muramet's conference room. Patch everyone in. She too should be dead. Maggie did not make it out alive as far as I remember. Actually, did she? Now activating Muramet's conference room. Assault teams Daybreak A and Daybreak B have logged in. Special assault teams Iron 56C and Iron 56D? I don't think that's correct. They might though? I don't know. Quick response team Taraxacum has... Taraxacum? That is a very weird name. Has logged in. Field support team Squad Pallet and Squad Puzzle have logged in. Everyone's logged in. Shall we get started then? Yep. Let's start by connecting to the Anus conference room. Alright, patching through to the Anus conference room. Special Operation member Umbrella is logged in. Unicorn is logged in. And that makes everyone. Taraxacum, is your audio and visual signal stable? Thank God that she's... Well, okay, I'm not the biggest fan of the AR team, but... she's alive. Alright, you're up, Commander. The Commander, who has been watching from the side for a while, begins to speak. Give me a sit rep. We finished clearing out the enemies and recovered Unicorn. We're currently stationed in a temporary signal station to the north of Avernus. How's Unicorn doing? We've recovered Nine's core, but we had Dandelion make a backup just to be safe. 45 can still continue operations, but she has requested to join us. 45? It's only been 2 days, but I still want to say it's been a long time, Commander. Are you sure you can continue with the mission on your current condition? Yeah, it's nothing serious. 416 and G11 have already got me sorted. Also, you need me around for stable connection with the Anus conference room. You call this nothing serious? If we hadn't picked up your signal when you came in, we wouldn't have thought you were... we would have thought you were scrap. EMP's wounds give the Commander pause, but a determined look in her eyes tell the Commander that she's already made a decision. I'll allow you to take part, but only on the condition that you know your limits. Will do. Irma, verify everyone's connection stability. Roger. Thank you very much for the 100 bits. Commander, I've just received a comms request from Miss Persica. Put her through now. Commander, I received a signal from Strongarm 17.34 seconds ago. How's Angie? Giving me a few more seconds, I'm decoding the info. Is she alright? She's still alive. That's good. But she isn't that far from becoming a corpse. The heart rate, respiratory rate, body temperature, they're all a mess. How much longer can she hold out? A normal person can last about 2 hours at most. We'll make it. Commander, you might not want to hear what I'm about to say, but I'm sure Angie would want me to nag you about it. What do you mean? You know how Angie is. Once she's made up her mind, nobody can make her change it. There are many times when I don't know what's going through her head, but just remember that Angie is Angie, so don't get your hopes up about saving her. Is this a roundabout way of telling me that the mission might fail? Since you're also hard-headed yourself, I have to be long-winded to get through to you. We'll think of a way to save her, no matter what kind of condition she's in. Alright then, I'll be waiting to hear from you, hardhead. Persica hangs up and the Commander leans back against the chair with a long and heavy sigh. Commander, your directions, please. Patch me through to Myramids. The operation has officially begun. Inside the Myramids conference room. Commander, we've established the connection and the Myramids' signal is stable. Alright then, I'll start the briefing. The objective of this operation is twofold. Rescue Angel before executing Operation Creamhilt, and capture the target known as William. 2 objective markers appear in mid-air in the conference room. You are currently in the Myramids conference room. We will use this communication system to tackle the electromagnetic disruption in Avernus. All operational reports will be made through here. Good evening, everyone. It's me, Mercury. I'm here to make sure that this connection remains safe, stable, and smooth. With a little help from Miss Berserker, that is to say, the anti-Paradeus jamming device, everything will be just fine. Thalaxacum will be responsible for ensuring signal stability and clarity once you enter Avernus. Aliana will be in... Hey, Aliana is here as well. Aliana will be our field commander once we enter the combat zone. I'll be monitoring and giving directions remotely. Yes. Squad Puzzle and Squad Pellet will provide ground-based fire direction. AV-56 will split into 2 teams. Team D will be airdropped onto the roof of the western tower when the mission begins. Then where they will proceed to work downward and eliminate the tower's artillery emplacements. Team C will land on the tower platform and draw their fire. Exploiting the weather condition and the blind spots of the western tower, Daybreak will circle around stealthily to launch an assault on the eastern tower in search for the mission objective. Thalaxacum will stay put and wait for Daybreak's signal. After we find the objective, we will retreat ASAP and ensure a successful segue into Operation Creamhilt. Any questions? The Myramids conference room briefly quiets down. Commander, the airboats entered the Black Zone. We're 27 kilometers away from objective, Avernus. Got it. The commander looks around at everyone in the room and calmly declares, "We will now commence Operation Ilia Myramids." The commander presses the activation button in the Myramids conference room. The first thunderclap roars through the sky outside the Elmo. The storm has come. The whistling of the wind accompanies the pouring of the rain and drowns out all other sounds. The jeep moves swiftly and silently, like a killer whale diving into the depths of the ocean. Compared to the climb outside, the air inside the vehicle is eerily quiet. SCR tightens her grip on a gun. She is trembling all over. Don't you get nervous, Neela? Aliana looks at SCR and fist bumps her on the shoulder. You're not nervous? You're excited. After all, we're carrying out a great and glorious mission. Once the rain stops, we will bring Daybreak to this place. Again. Fucking judge. At the edge of the Dead Sea, several jeeps exit the Elmo and race towards Avernus. There's a squad pilot. Come in, Squad Puzzle. There's a squad puzzle. Squad pilot will be performing fire guidance on the enemy's right flank in 1 minute's time. Squad puzzle copies. We'll mark targets on the left flank later on. After ending a transmission to the other squads, VHS turns to the driver in front of the passenger seat. Because that means something in the language. It's also a really cool looking rifle. Hawkpara, get closer to the enemy. There's too much margin of error if we fire at this range. But if I get closer to them, I might end up feeling sorry for them. You're feeling sorry for them? I can't wait to get out there and make them sorry they were ever born. Video homes. No, it's a Croatian rifle. A series of explosions come from the enemy's right flank. Killing time! Leader, I'm picking up a large concentration of enemies. They're all withdrawing from the right to the left flank. Roger. He just calmly opens the channel to the fire support command and dials in the enemy's numbers in position. On the platform outside the western tower, Avernus. The sudden explosion that interrupted the night's patrols. The outposts have been leveled flat. Alert! All forces on alert! Cease patrol and prepare for battle. Is it another attack? It's more pointless resistance than like before. Lady Narcissus is coming here. Quit standing around. Head back to the warehouse and pick up more ammo. Understood. Cannon shell sails past the edge of the platform and instantly obliterates several nitros. Go now, get more ammo! Yes. sinister sound makes the Knight freeze in her tracks. What was that sound? The prelude to your funerals. It's the sound of a sharp metallic weapon cleaving through bodies. A white-haired figure appears behind the dismembered Knights. What cute little brats you are. I wonder if your insides look as cute once I cut you open. Enemy on the platform. Notify Lady Narcissus. Stop her. Several black-clad girls surround Alchemist, trying to hammer in and buy more time for Narcissus to arrive. They are blasted away by accurate cannon fire. Would you mind not spouting those disgusting one-liners all the time? I thought you'd have gotten used to them by now, my dear buddy. The Destroyer definitely detonates the explosives planted at the entrance, cutting off the route from which the Night planned to use to retreat. Dreamer, have you pinpointed the location of those two pieces of trash? The signal is coming from the warehouse at 2 o'clock. Well, they say a warehouse, but it's more like a garbage dump. Ha! It's perfect for them. I'll go get them back. Cover me, Destroyer. No problem, just go ahead. Covered by Destroyer, Alchemist rushes towards the warehouse that's broadcasting the signal. Are they still alive? In the Monomad's network, Yimpy has transferred the Anus conference room's resources here. It was left behind from Squad Frame's encounter with Narcissus. Play it. Hurry up and figure something out. Is there really no end to her floating blades? Listen up. Once I give the order, fire on her. It's no use. All my shots do is explode harmlessly and a shower of sparks. Just do as I say. The sound of a single grenade striking home can be heard amidst the background noise. Wow, how did he do that? She was just about to deploy a floating blade, but you interrupted her? She needs to concentrate when deploying a floating blade for a long-range attack. Attack her when she's doing that and buy me time. Leave it to me. UMP turns off the recording. Unfortunately, they didn't manage to escape Narcissus because of Paraday's reinforcements. But I believe that recording gives some very valuable insights. Judge looks silently at Firm's data. Alright. It definitely is. Team FE56C will try that strategy, while Team D will follow the plan and attack the western tower from the roof. We'll provide support once we eliminated the enemy fire support. I agree. You have something else to add? Those two... They didn't disgrace Sangos Ferry and fought to the very end, didn't they? Yes. Even though it was just the two of them, they went out guns blazing. That's good enough. On the platform outside the western tower, Avernus. The continuous bombardments make the ground tremble. Oh, HQ, there's a Team D. Report in. We've successfully landed on the roof, but we haven't made contact with the enemy yet. Just like the RT Intel said, the defenses here are very weak. Carry on, stick to the plan. Judge puts down a communicator. Keep firing, cover Team D. Okay, now watch this. Satisfied with how Destroyer and Alchemist are working together, she redirects her attention to Dreamer by her side, who is looking a little bored. Dreamer, I picked up an unusually high-spec contact. It's probably Narcissus from my intel. Get to a high place and ambush her. Alright, alright. Don't forget what Agent said. Our task is to recover Architect Engager. And... Dreamer stretches and a dangerous smile spreads across her face. Make her pay in blood. On the platform outside the western tower, Avernus. There's a loud explosion in the entrance which Destroyer blew up once again, explodes in a shower of debris. Alchemist, who is standing nearby, is caught by the blast and sent sprawling onto the ground, further from our objective. And here I was wondering who it was. I take a look outside, it's the same old rubbish, ambushes blowing the entrance up, fighting me head-on in close combat. I have to say, birds of a feather really do flock together, and it seems your stupidity runs in the family. Who the hell are you? Are you Narcissus? That's my name. Make sure you remember it. Several floating blades streak towards Destroyer, but she nimbly avoids them. At the same time, Alchemist suddenly appears behind her and slashes down. That's cheap. Anything goes as long as it lets me take you down. Now watch this. The shell impacts at close range, sending Narcissus flying through the air and crashing into a wall. She immediately responds by leaping into a high point and getting out of the Sanguis doll's range. So if you're exactly like those two pieces of trash from before, you may look coordinated, but you're anything but when you're going up against my floating blades. Is she pulling some kind of ultimate skill? No floating blades appear on Narcissus, all pointed straight at the SF dolls. She doesn't seem to have many more blades than the Anus Incel. We can handle it. Now die! A ruthlessly accurate beam of light strikes home. It destroys the mask on Narcissus' face. If she hadn't dodged in time, it might have gone through her skull instead. Aw, I missed. Why is there another bug? Dreamer, back us up. Another deadly beam blasts through an entire row of Nitos. I like that move of yours. Very yummy. Thank you. With Dreamer support, the Nitos thronging the platforms are soon wiped out. Die already, all of you. You're nothing but cheap pieces of trash. Another laser beam grazes her arm. Narcissus immediately darts away from their previous position and stares down Dreamer, who is far off in the distance. You again. Now, I'd also describe that lot as trash. However, Dreamer raises her laser rifle. I'm the only one who gets to call them that. As she pushes into a corner, a strange change comes over Nala's expression. First, it looks like she's afraid, then she seems to be caught in the grip of some kind of rapture. At last, she bends down and bursts into creepy laughter. Trash. So I didn't even get to call others trash. Why is that? Is it because I'm not the perfect one? Narcissus suddenly fires off all her floating blades, sending them across the platform at high speed. I put so much effort into killing, because I wanted to escape the fate of being trash. I'm a great killer, aren't I? So why do you keep looking down on me? Why do you keep pissing me off? What the hell is she doing? Several floating blades suddenly lance out as destroyer, but Alchemist blocks them. She's trying to delay us by going berserk. Huh, so what should we do now? We're to show her the meaning of blood for blood. Well, blood for blood. Hey, it's the first map where I get to use my own forces. And thematically speaking, it's a great time. Why are you there? Honestly, I have to admit, give me one moment, please. How much more difficult will the map get on Nightmare? Blech. I hate these things. All in all, it's really not that much more difficult, though. Like, I don't know some of these enemies, like this one. What the fuck are you? But 20,000 really isn't that much, considering the fact that my forces are generally in the 40 to 50,000s. Well, some of them aren't, but... You know what? I'm gonna attempt this. Let's get ourselves some spread out forces here. BGM. Do get over here. We can deploy whatever we want, essentially. Now that is a great boon. The upcoming stage, heart rate has been replaced by signal to noise ratio. The signal to noise has automatically increased by 5 in each turn. Killing an enemy reduces it by 5. Managing these signal to noise effectively makes it easier for you to defeat powerful enemies. Note that the Avenger Max's up ahead places heavy debuffs on your units. Please make good use of your NPC's skill. Okay. So, Galliana. In stages featuring signal to noise ratio, your echelons have the ability to adjust the signal to noise. Tap and activate the skill to bring the SN into a safer level. The following stage features a brand new building type known as the Evangel Axis. These axes will cause serious interference for your forces. Long press to view a more detailed description. Tap the building to proceed. So Bellion again. On top of adjusting the signal, you can also select friendly units to undergo enhancements so that they will not be affected by the interference from the Evangel Axis. Because it affects all enemies' units within a 2-node distance. I see. Okay. Well. Let's move forward. One tile at a time. How many units do we get to spawn? Is there just no limit? Well, I mean, if you ask me like that, I'm gonna spawn as many as I can. Now let's see what's going on here. I should have activated the thingy. Oh well. Auto combat for you. Very good. And the turn. See what the enemy is attempting to do against this. And laugh at them when it fails. That's triple support. Go fuck yourself, enemy. The sheer amount of explosions. I think the game might have just crashed. One moment, please. That is very funny. La-di-da. This is fine. Yeah. Go back up. I'm gonna quickly collect my mail. For the simple reason that I know that there's a few very good rewards that we got. Like that true core mask. That was way too early in. Personal opinion, yeah? Yeah, I know. I don't know what happened in that battle now. I guess we won? Enemy artillery has been taken out. That's very good. Arguably that was the most dangerous thing the enemy was doing. Time to advance our machine guns on the enemies. Because this squad should theoretically just melt them. And that it did. They're gone. What do we have here? That looks fine. We're not even debuffed all the way out here. Ah, the enemy's dead. God damn. I'm guessing that the reason why this map is so comparatively low in enemy force is either because they want us to feel very strong right now, or because it's the first map that actually has enemies that we can fight with our own units. Anyway, advance the front line. I want to attempt something here. What if I just walk here? Super can be deactivated manually, but doing so will increase the SN... Yeah, okay, turn it off. Whoop. And then we will reduce the signal afterwards. Oh yeah, ammo's exhausted. That is actually a problem. That's not really a problem per se, but it's not ideal. I'm actually going to switch these two here. Okay, no, I can. I can in a roundabout way. Now, where will we have to fight someone for sure? Right here on Oleana. Switch these two around. Amplify the signal over here. And around. Now this squad is also quite punchy. Turns out that they deal quite a lot of damage. With this much fire at the board, I don't really see a problem in defeating these enemies. The rest is just small fry. And they're gone! There's some repairs. Very nice. Now, my concern is these tanks. It's not ideal that they're here. Not at all. Gonna switch these two around. What even is our mission? Objective all heliports. I see, there's another one all the way up there. Okay, alright. There's another one all the way up there as well. Okay. I wonder. Is that a path? There is no path right there. There's a path right here, though. That's actually good enough for now. Let's resupply the AGS-30. No. Select. Switch. I'm gonna do a sneaky here. I'm gonna pull in another unit, switch them around. Does save me a move in the long run, and let me resupply the unit right away. Now, what we need to do here is fight these tanks. I remember them. I don't like them. Not at all. I do believe they were significantly stronger the first time. I could have... Yeah, okay, they were significantly stronger before. Significantly stronger. But I did forget about something. And I'm gonna deal with that now. AGS-30? No, AGS-30. Ah, there's no connection there. Hang on. You aren't quite in range. Are you now? No. Are you now? Yes. The reason I'm using the AGS-30 for this and not one of the others is simple. She has more range. The BGM doesn't have the same range as the AGS, so yeah. We'll quickly move them around a bit. Artillery position there, destroyed. Switch back around, switch back around. Put you in the middle, which is probably too far away to support the units that I want you to support. Breakthrough, fire the tanks. Now the good thing is that this squad does have a very, very specialized anti-armor unit, whose voices, for some reason, louder than anything else. However, she's a very specialized anti-armor unit that is making short work of the enemy. Move over here, capture that note. Actually, resupply first of all. Resupply. Switch out. So that tile is actually in range of that Evangel Axis up there. That is annoying, but we haven't used the thing yet. Right, amplify. Tune this device to what? Why would I do that? Cancel. So it has to be right next to her, okay. Switch back around. Switch these two around to get them support close enough to actually work. We're breaking through the front line. Straight to the Evangel Axis. I want to turn that one off. Okay, that was still too far from 84. Shouldn't matter. And yeah, that's another squad of tanks removed. I don't like the fact that she's louder than everyone else. Straight to the Evangel axis. Turn it off. Now we tune again to reduce needed signal to noise. Move the AGS over to the right side. And break through some tanks on that side as well. Double support. Now this too is a very specialized squad, but in a very different way. Watching IWS just obliterate something is so good. Your ammo's exhausted, so you'll go back and resupply again. Switching over. Hello, good day, sir. That's out of range, so I need to move you over here. Bang, bang, bang. The amount of damage she outputs is completely insane. So good. So, you do provide support for that unit up there. That's very good. I want you to support support up there as well, though. If I can. Very good. I'm out of turns for this turn. But it should be fine. We're all the way down to 65 decibels of noise. And we're done. And I think this time NTW actually did more. You know, the auto-repair system that they implemented is actually really, really nice. Break another tank. The one squad that we're using, the one with NTW and DSR, is a specialized armor cracker. Well, this one is just brute force. I love this squad so much. IWS, push forward to the heliports. You push forward over here. Over here we can literally just place AGS on there, so that's fine. One on the left side, why not? Let's push the machine gun squad forward. You know what, we're even going to give them support. The moment those shields go down, it's over. Move you up here. Well, that's not the least. Let's make sure that there's something on that heliport there as well. So I believe we have every heliport captured at this point. Yeah. Actually, no, the top right won't be kept. We're gonna have to spend one more turn on this. Oh, wait, no. That's a fun map. A very long-winded map, but fun. Oh boy. F4 arrangement in grey and black. 4-point perspective 1. 4-point perspective 1. No, 5-point perspective 1. And self-portrait. I don't like you already. This is the ranking map. I can tell. I don't know why it's available now, but it's the ranking map. Sfumato. And the unit look... Something about it doesn't strike me as right. Let's see. F4, arrangement in grey and black. On the platform outside the Western Tower, Avernus. More and more Knights march out the Western Tower entrance. They march over the burning debris, circle around the smoking, smouldering platform, and head for the Eastern Tower. Architect and Gager collapsed on the ground near a chunk of debris that they were using as cover. Their bodies ruined and their eyes dull. Narcissus lands near the remains, a maniacal grin on her face. Get up then, mad dogs of Griffin. Gager sent flying by a kick. She hits the charred wreckage of an aircraft and crashes back down to the ground, throwing up a plume of dust. Why aren't you moving? Is that all you have, worthless trash? The floating blades rise and dive at the target like scalpels, flaying Architect's bionic flesh and exposing her metallic endoskeleton innards. Ha! Go on, bark more, keep fighting back. Despite lack of response, NASA seems to be getting more and more enthused. The floating blades trail after images behind them as they noisily dismember Architect. Metal scrapes against metal, producing a harsh noise. One of the floating blades seems to have gotten stuck. Architect's body has been mutilated beyond recognition, but her synthetic spine is surprisingly tough, and one of the floating blades is stuck between the vertebrae, unable to respond to Narcissus' commands. Trash is trash! Furious, she turns on the Knights who are cowering by the edge of the platform. You, get my blade out right now! Yes, Big Sister Narcissus. The Knight tramples as she approaches the quivering blade stuck in Architect's spine. But despite using all her strength, she cannot pull it free. I'm sorry, Big Sister Narcissus. You're trash too. Narcissus explodes in anger and her floating blades sweep across the platform like a tornado, shredding the equipment stashed there, along with several luckless Knightos. The remaining Knightos on the platform fall on their knee, while the ones at the Western Tower entrance hang back timidly. The floating blades suddenly freeze in their tracks. What the hell? Narcissus' anger grows, but the blades remain frozen in the air. In the next moment, several of the hitherto invincible floating blades disintegrate into powder, which falls to the ground in full view of an incredulous Narcissus. Just then, the Knights from the Eastern Tower fall back to make way. An elegant woman walks through the crowd and steps onto the platform. Narcissus, don't litter the place. Can't you let me have some fun? Sorry. Nemron quickly surveys the ragged remains of the platform and says nothing else. The few floating blades which remain behind Narcissus huddle closer to her, almost as if they were cowering behind her. Some of them are flecked with blood. Narcissus, I have a new mission for you. To catch the few Griffin dogs hiding from us? No. Your mission is to stay right here and guard the platform. That's just boring. It is Father's will. Cheer up, more people will come to the platform soon. You'll be able to have lots more fun then. How many people? Who knows? Maybe one, maybe a whole group. I'll kill them all, no matter how many there are. Enjoy yourself then. Rats are the most interesting right before they die. Feel free to draw it out. No problem. Father praise me if I stand guard here. Narcissus' eyes light up. Nemron returns her gaze impassively. You'll know once you're done. Just then, all the Knights on the platform receive a new order. Move into the main hall of the Eastern Tower and stand by. The Knights immediately drop everything they're holding and swarm into the Eastern Tower. Huh? So all the trash are going to the Eastern Tower? There's no answer. Narcissus turns but find that Nemron has already landed by the entrance of the Western Tower. I'm doing this alone. Central Control Room, level 35 of the Western Tower. Big Sister Ashley, energy conduits on level 12 are connected. Because actually, we're adjusting the energy conduits on level 14. Connection will be established in approximately 3 minutes. 35 floors have reported the energy transfer status. Only level 19 has not checked in yet. Level 19? Ashley, they're going to mature soon. We can't transfer power now. We have 3 specimens with excellent data in this batch. Please give us another 8 hours. Carry out your orders. That's all you need to do. But, a spattering noise comes through the comms. After a brief pause, a soft voice speaks over the line again. Because Ashley, the energy conduits on level 19 are being adjusted. Connection in approximately 8 minutes. Good. Once the connection is complete, have everyone on your floor proceed to the central main hall and stand by. Ashley rises to her feet the moment that Nemran enters the control room. The screen depicts a 3D rendering of the western tower. 34 lines representing energy conduits lights up. They work their way up through the each floor until they all gather at level 35. Because Nemran, the power lines from all the production lines of the western tower are connected to level 35. The conduit on this floor is now active. It will be fully charged in about 120 minutes. Nemran nods. Ashley observes Nemran as he continues tentatively. Having 34 power lines simultaneously patched into here might overload the production capacity of the western tower. The subsequent repairs might... How long will it take? Her tone is cold as ice and brooks no arguments. Ashley's voice drops to a whisper. At maximum capacity, it'll only take 30 minutes, but none of the production lines will be salvageable afterwards. 30 minutes it is then. Ashley winces. She walks up to the control terminal and flips a number of switches. The charging process bar on the screen suddenly leaps forward, and the lines representing the power conduit shine brighter, while level 35 starts glowing like a blazing star. The faint humming of circuits overloading can be heard even here in the control room. Seconds tick by. Warning, anomaly in conduit 7. With a snap, the power conduit on level 7 goes dark. Warning, anomaly in conduit 16. Snap, as does one on level 16. Ashley disables the alarm. Nemran watches impassively as the conduits on the screen go dark one after the other. Drake, come to the western tower. Copy that. Nemran picks up the call. Hold them up for 2 more hours. Understood. Permission to activate Gatekeeper of Hell. Granted. The call ends. Nemran takes a deep breath. In 30 minutes, time, activate the Gatekeeper of Hell. Roger. I don't know what that means, but, you know. Oh, are these the farming maps? Have I unlocked the farming maps? Finally. Oh yeah, absolutely. These are the farming maps. Okay, got it. They are not story related. Allegory of Scripture. On the platform outside the western tower, Avernus. The sound of gunfire recedes, revealing the devastated battlefield littered with corpses. Narcissus is missing both her legs, but she still tries in vain to fire off her floating blades, even though she's running on empty. I'll kill you, I'll squish you like bugs, I'll crush you! Dreamer plants a foot on her face, not bothering to hide the cruel smile on her face. I'm the one who's crushing you underfoot like a bug, though. Kill you. I'll kill you! Shut up already, my ears are bleeding. Dreamer exerts a bit of force and shoves Narcissus' face into the dirt. The knight is choking on the sheer terror of losing both her legs and vision. Just finish off already. Fine, we still have other things to do. You do it, Destroyer. Okay. Destroyer takes aim at the trembling Narcissus. No, don't. In the very last moment of her life, her mind is blank. There are no happy memories she can revisit. Nobody special to her whose word... What? Nobody special to her whose words she can recall. Just an expanse of empty, black nothingness inside her mind. Her tears soak into the dirt. I don't want to die. Remember that feeling, because that's what you deserve as trash. I'm not trash, I'm not... Oh, and by the way, this one's for the 2 of them. Judge, we found Architect Engager. Alright, Team D's assemble too. Most of the firebases in the Western Tower were deserted. Cleanup was surprisingly easy. Kinda lame, if you ask me. Don't forget your mission. Judge opens the channel to Monomets. This is FE56. Team D has finished clearing out all the firebases in the Western Tower. Team C will continue wiping out the remaining units on the platform. The wind on the platform is blowing due south, and collapsed particle density is highest at 7 o'clock. While the rain will help with camouflage, you should be able to approach the Eastern Tower following Plan B. Daybreak copies, moving out now. Eastern Tower main hall, Avernus. The storm rages on outside. The sound of the rain and gunfire mix together into a hasty beat. This is Team B. We've breached the north gate. Team A will proceed. Cover us, Team B. The door is blown open. Squad Daybreak surges in. Under their concentrated fire, 7 riders who didn't withdraw in time collapsed by the corner. Left flank clear. Right flank clear. M82A1 peers at the corner of the eastern staircase quietly. The knight suddenly collapses. No ambushes confirmed. Stay alert. After signaling to her team members to keep their eyes peeled, Aliana raises the gun and ventures further into the hall by herself. Inside the silent hall, the only thing visible is a headless goddess statue pointing a sword at the sky, as though she were challenging fate. Judging by the map, this seems to be the prayer hall. Leader, should we keep going? Hang on, let Team B go in first. Roger. Aliana signals to the rest of the team to follow her, and Team B moves in under SCR's direction. Team B, head to the second floor. Cover them, M82. Roger. Team B's caution increases as they go down the dark corridor. M82 and Team A follow close behind them. After reaching the new floor, SCR signals to the rest of the team to report in. No enemy sighted. All clear. Area clear. Proceed forward. Team A, moving up. Something shifts in the darkness, then a body hits the floor. Aliana gestures again, indicating the team should huddle up and watch the surroundings. M60 signal vanished. I know. A melee weapon, wielded by an extremely fast and agile killer. It's Greg. Having deduced the identity of the enemy, Aliana breaks away from the huddle and ventures into the darkness. As expected, the killer strikes again. M82. Sniper ready. The bullet makes a beeline for the killer, leaving her no choice but to pull back and deflect it with her blade. Aliana quickly takes advantage of this opening and fires on her. The killer in white vanishes into the darkness again. Aliana raises her hand, gesturing for everyone to stay put. A flash of light cuts through the darkness, sliding down on Squad Daybreak. With a gesture from Aliana, they break apart with crisp fluidity while shooting back at Greg. Greg deflects all the bullets fired at once, before returning to the darkness once again. Go on the offensive, this isn't getting us anywhere. Roger. I'm picking up more than one enemy. Leader. M249 saw is gone. What? But she was just... Keep calm. Check her position. Her signal's gone offline. It's Brammet. Check everyone's status once every 3 minutes. We keep moving. Aliana sounds as composed as ever. Squad Daybreak follows her directions and advances further into the depths of the hall. Looks like we have some tough opponents on our hands. My attacks were ineffective against them. Rick coldly wipes away the blood on herself. You can get lost if you use this here. Oh, don't get mad. I'll try something else on her. Shh, they're here. Rick fades into the darkness again and vanishes in the blink of an eye. Brammet pauses for a moment, then she leisurely follows. Level 4, Eastern Tower, Avernus. Clear. Clear. No hostile spotted. Once everyone is in position, Aliana slowly ascends the stairs while M82 covers her. Her footsteps echoes through the spiral staircase, triggering ripples on her knees. Once it is certain that the floor above and below are safe, Aliana briefly lowers her gun. Clear. Tee-hee. The eerie giggle sends her back on alert immediately. What's wrong, leader? Aliana calmly gestures to her teammates to keep away and stay vigilant. You are unlike them. You have many, many in stories. Oh, all those sad stories. You remind me of a poem, actually. In BC, we were too young. In AD, we were too old. Aliana whirls around and finds an unfamiliar white-haired woman standing behind her. It's Brammet from the intel report. And nobody saw that one truly beautiful smile. When did you pull me into level 2, Brammet? You noticed? Still, there's no point in asking. After all, you'll be staying here. And what about yourself? I'll be keeping you company, of course. Otherwise, you'd be so lonely here by yourself. You took less time to hack in here than I expected. Now, why don't you seem worried at all? 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1... Heavy gunfire sweeps toward Brammet hiding in place, forcing her to dive for cover. At the same time, Aliana's eyes snap open and she joins in on the suppressive fire directed at Brammet. You really are a troublesome doll. I'm actually getting a little intrigued. I wonder how lovely you look when you start to panic. Keep your distance from my M26. Roger. M26 mass turns and leaps down the stairs. She continues raking fire over the floor above. A blade flashes through the air again. Brammet disappears in the blink of an eye. Oh dear, I think I messed up. Greg dumps the wounded Brammet on the ground. Retreat. I'll take care of this place. Retreat? There's no way you can hold this place by yourself. She asked us to delay them. I can do that. Grey must have sheltered you quite heavily if you're still this naive. Grig's face instantly darkens, like the sky just before a storm. Brammet pretends she didn't notice and continues speaking. Come to think of it, Grey was just like this before she went into that battle. Grey, back then did she face 2 opponents like this by herself? Oh yes, and at the first battle it was... and at first the battle was still fairly even. But later on, injury started affecting her movements and slowing her down. Then they sensed their weakness, like hyenas smelling blood. Enough. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you're still grieving. Oh yes. What were we saying again? Retreat? Don't try to round me up pointlessly. I'm leaving. Stay or follow. It's up to you. Grig sheathes her sword and prepares to leave. Brammet quickly follows the blocks of path, gazing at Grig's impassive face. She grits her teeth and sighs. You leave me with no choice. Did you see that? Do you still remember how Grey fell? Falling from such a high place. She must have been so scared. Yet she still put up a brave front and kept comforting you, until the goddess of sword ran her through. Couldn't catch up to her. Trash, I couldn't save her. But that's alright. You can still avenge Grey. The enemies are right here. I'll kill them. Yes, kill them all. Give them a taste of Grey's suffering, even if it costs you your life. Kill them all. Grig feels as if she's sinking into water. The sounds of the outside world gradually fade away. Phantasmal aquatic weeds coil around her, entangling her, choking her. The enemies have gone silent. Did they retreat? Don't relax just yet. Keep moving forward. A blinding arc suddenly cuts through the air, startling everyone into taking several steps back. The burst of bullets stitch their way through Grig's afterimages. None of them connect. Something's not right. She's way faster than before. Change in mission objective. Eliminate the enemy unit Grig. However, that's not going to happen today. I will actually end my stream here for today. I am still very intrigued what will happen. But we still have a while. The enemy's still running for 20 days and making good progress through the story. So let me quickly check. Who can I raid for today? Let me see. Who's still online? Who do we have here? Let's go say hello to Beru, who's currently playing Lethal Company. She's apparently... Oh, they apparently... Not she, I'm sorry. They, I believe. I might be wrong. I'm very sorry. They are collaborating with someone, so I don't know who they're collaborating with, but we're just going to say hello and see who it is. because Lethal Company is a great game, and if you play it with friends and people that you enjoy, it's a really, really fun game. Anyway, thank you very much for being here. I should be back tomorrow with a collaboration stream together with San and Reki. I believe both of them will be there, but I'm not quite sure. Anyway, have a good night. Thank you very much for being here, and I hope to see you again. Bye.